Miracle Boy Boxing. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and new Jaron Boots Ennis, guys. He is the new IBF welterweight champion of the world. All thanks to the IBF stripping Terrence Bud Crawford of his title. He was the undisputed champion of the world, holding all the belts in the division, and the IBF decided to strip Crawford of his IBF title and awarding Jaron Boots Ennis, who was the #1 contender, the mandatory for some time, and they awarded him the title. Usually when you see things like this, when they strip a fighter of a belt, they will make a fight, they'll put a fight together and make two fighters go at it for the vacant championship. #1 and #2, or two top fighters in the division. Like Jaron Boots Ennis versus a top welterweight, maybe like Keith Thurman, Rashidi Ellis. I think that me being a Boots fan, I feel, yes, I'm happy he's the champion, because he's been the mandatory for some time. He's been the #1 contender. I was hoping that he would fight Crawford, but I also had my skeptics on that because Crawford was already planning to fight Spence again, and at 154. So, that fight at welterweight, staying at welterweight and defending against Boots was highly unlikely, even though it was the best challenge after Spence for Bud Crawford. I don't think Keith Thurman, Rashidi Ellis, those guys compete with Bud Crawford. Not taking anything away from Keith, Rashidi Ellis, and any other top welterweight out there. They're all excellent fighters, but I feel like Boots is a bit above them, even though Boots has not really fought an elite guy yet. But I feel that if Boots steps in there with either Keith, Rashidi Ellis, even Mario Barrios, even Bud Crawford, like I said, that's the fight that I would have liked to see. And after Spence, it was the best fight in the welterweight division make. Boots is an amazing talent. Speed, power, switch stances, very high ring IQ. He can do just about anything that Crawford does in the ring, and he's 27 years old. Crawford is 35. A beast, man, and he has some size for a welterweight. A lot of people say he belongs at 154, 160. He's a big guy, and that's the scary thing about him. He's got the speed, he got the power, he's got the athleticism, the switch stances, the ring IQ. He can take a punch. We saw in his last fight against Roman Villa, who's no slouch. He's not an elite fighter. Roman Villa's not an elite fighter, but he's no slouch. He was coming off 2 back-to-back wins, beating undefeated prospects. And, Ennis was the first guy to stop him. A guy that has never been dropped nor stopped, and Ennis did it in one fight in impressive fashion. Like I said, Ennis is the guy that hasn't proven his excellency against an elite fighter, and that's because he needs to be given a chance. And once he does that, he will show the world why he is one of the top welterweights in the division and a threat to Crawford. Even though I don't think we'll ever see that fight, because Crawford's going to be going up to 154, while Boots is going to be doing his thing at welterweight. He just became champion, so now he has to defend it. Obviously, it's going to be against a top welterweight. Mario Barrios coming off a sensational win over Ugas. Looked impressive in that fight. Beating the remains of Ugas likely. But, gotta give credit to where it's due. Barrios, that was the best I've seen Barrios look. And Ugas is never an easy fighter to beat, to fight, and much less win. Much less defeat. And Barrios did that. So, Barrios is a good opponent for Crawford. For Ennis. Rashidi Ellis is another one. And Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is an excellent opponent for Jaron Boots Ennis. That'll definitely be a hell of a first title defense, and I'm sure and I'm confident that I can see Jaron Boots Ennis beating both guys, Rashidi Ellis and Keith Thurman. You know, that's just how I see it. Jaron Boots Ennis is an excellent fighter. Like I said, he's got all the talent you want to see in a fighter, all the skills, the speed, the power, the durability. Yeah, to me, he has a good chin. And I think he'll put Keith Thurman, he'll stop Keith Thurman. I can see it. Likely on a body shot because Keith cannot take body shots. Rashidi Ellis, likely on the chin. Yeah, man. And Jaron, he's got it all. He got timing. He's explosive. That's why, in my opinion, he's always been a threat to Crawford. But some say he didn't want to smoke. Who to believe? But in my opinion, I think Ennis is a big threat to Crawford. To me, he's the best opponent after Spence for Crawford. But unfortunately, Crawford will likely move up to junior middleweight and seek other challenges and titles. But Jaron Boots Ennis, guys, is your new IBF welterweight champion of the world. And let's see who will be his first opponent that he will defend against. Likely Keith Thurman, likely Rashidi Ellis, maybe Mario Barrios. I won't be surprised. Definitely a top welterweight will be in front of will be the one to stand in front of Ennis and challenge him. We'll see. American Boy Boxing, guys. I am your host, Jose Cruz, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.